I get it.
But they brought back, like, the Blob and Will.i.am's character. They brought all them back for extended scenes throughout the movie. But Deadpool, no.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, if they're going to spin a Deadpool movie out of this movie and that Deadpool is going to be in the movie, I don't want to fucking see that piece of shit.
I don't want to see it, no. It's lame. It's terrible.
Because when you so close his mouth, he stops being Deadpool.
Right. That made no sense to me.
And when you have fucking samurai swords coming out of his hands, did like the fucking writer or the production assistant or somebody like, oh man, I need to have this really cool weapons for this Deadpool character. Hey, son of mine that he's in the 2nd grade, what is really cool? What do you think would be really cool? He has samurai swords. Well, how about you have the samurai swords come out of his hands like Wolverine? Oh, that's awesome! Who thought that was a good idea?
And I'm sorry, that whole ending.
And how is it better to bend his arms?
Yeah, yeah. How can he bend his arms?
How can he bend his arms to samurai swords? Sorry, that's just ridiculous.
But and the ending, and
the ending is.
When I went to go, I'm going watch. I went to see this movie with someone, and I went to that person and go watch. It's going to be the Darth Maul ending. Okay, remember the.
By the way, it was the same ending that was in here this week.
Actually, yeah, it's same ending as in Thunderbolts. When Wolverine cuts Deadpool's head off, and Deadpool falls, and as he falls, his head detaches from his body, and then you have that whole ending, just like in The Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan cuts Darth Maul in half, and he falls, and as he starts falling, his body parts detach.
Except Darth Maul actually died, right?
Actually died, correct. And it made no sense to me.
Except that he was in the Star Wars video game that they came out with. I don't know how they explained that.
No.
But, yeah.
And then, and then the whole thing, why does Stryker spend all this time making Wolverine indestructible and then goes, okay, now kill him? Makes no fucking sense.
His superior told him to kill him, to be honest.
Yeah, but still, if Stryker...
Because Stryker... all right, and this is another part of the problem. And actually, this is one of the few things I actually agreed with Roger Ebert about, was that if you make a character indestructible, why would you give two shits what this character is going to go through for the rest of the movie? You know he's going to be able to beat whatever anyone throws at him. Right. He can't die.
Right. We know he's going to... It's a prequel, so we know that Wolverine is going to make it to the next movie.
Yeah, but when you make him that indestructible in the fucking movie...
Who cares?
Who gives a shit?
Right. And then at that point it becomes like, how many cool ways can Wolverine blow up his opponents? How many ways can he slice and dice people? How many ways can he just wreak havoc on everyone else? Which is what people want to see in Wolverine, but it does take away any dramatic tension or any sort of concern you might have for that character's survival. We know that Wolverine's going to survive. We know it for a fact. It's just figuring out how he gets to the point that he's at. Adamantium bullet to the head to erase your memories. Stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
Stupidest idea I've ever heard. Who says that an adamantium bullet's going to go through an adamantium skull?
It doesn't make sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. Stupidest idea ever.
Didn't that person ever read that Captain America annual where Captain America fought Wolverine with his adamantium shield?
No, but he has adamantium and vibranium. So it's his shield is actually...
See, that's what the bullet should have been made out of.
Vibranium.
With
they could have introduced that.
Wow,
they
look
could
at
have
these
introduced
two
that.
nerds.
See?
Nerding it up now.
Well, they should have had us write that friggin' screenplay because at that point, the movie had really lost me. It had really lost me.
That movie lost me after Deadpool was gone.
Yeah. So...
And then they got into this whole relationship... And he's a lumberjack.
Can I tell you? I knew right from the very beginning the chick wasn't dead. Okay, here's my thing. At the very end, he discovers that his love that he's going on this killer rampage for is alive, right? Yeah. So you're telling me that Wolverine left the love of his life lying in the middle of the fucking forest and took off looking for revenge? He didn't, take her to the hospital afterwards for an autopsy?
It's Wolverine. He would know if she was dead. He would know.
But it's like, is that what really happened? Because
well, it's happening in the movie.
He didn't even know. I mean, when someone dies, you just don't leave him there.
But wasn't that so tragic at the end, though? When he loses his memory and he's walking past her dead body and he looks down and he doesn't know that there was the love of his life. I started crying. Oh my God, I can't believe that your love is lying there dead and you don't even know it because you lost your memory in a really fucking ridiculous way, Wolverine. Oh my God.
And how is it that getting a bullet to the head makes you lose that specific memory, like who you are? I mean, how did Stryker know that Wolverine just wouldn't forget how to wipe after he takes a shit? You know, I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Actually, I think they're going to get into the whole potty training thing.
The whole potty training. He needs to read.
Wolverine.
That's why I think the Xavier will help him later do potty.
Oh,
training.
and how creepy did he look?
He looked like was it Bunsen Honeydew? Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets.
Or Beaker.
Beaker.
Well, they're two different. Bunsen Honeydew's
it's a scientist.
The fat
scientist
yeah,
with glasses. That's who he looked like. He looked like Bunsen Honeydew. It was just creepy. I was like, was it Patrick Stewart de-aged again? Or was it someone they got to make look like Patrick Stewart? Because that did not look right.
And I'm glad that the movie took place probably like 20 years ago. Or I don't even know when... Because they didn't really tell you when it was supposed to be taking place. You know it was before. But Patrick Stewart looks like he's like 20 years younger in this movie. But Cyclops is only like 3 years younger than the first X-Men movie. And what time period is it like set in? Like, it was just ridiculous.
Well, Will.i.am must have not aged very... I mean, if he was there in friggin' Vietnam and in Africa with... Or if he's in Africa there to go on all these co-op... These black ops thingies... Oh, wait. Speaking of... Why is Sabretooth...
In that Agent Zero didn't age either.
Yeah, Agent Zero didn't age. Why is it that Sabretooth is going to kill the Dominic Monaghan character, but he doesn't go after the Will.i.am character or the Blob? Why doesn't he go after them too?
Well, he killed Will.i.am.
He did, but because
he was there.
He just happened to be there. He killed him then. He just happened to be there.
Well, that's...
But why wasn't he going after the other guys too? Why weren't the other guys going, oh man, they're coming after us now? They didn't care. They weren't thinking about it.
You know why? Well, you know why? Because this movie was a piece of shit. All right? And, okay, if you wanted total mindless action and you just wanted to go to see a movie and just want to see Wolverine tear shit up, congratulations, you saw the best Wolverine movie ever.
And it made $84 million over the opening weekend.
But if you actually cared anything about the character and you wanted a cool story or just anything at all interesting, you got fucked because that's not what this was. This was one of the most shallow superhero movies I've ever seen. I mean, there just wasn't anything to it. I mean, everything contradicted with the character. And again, I'm sure they didn't make this movie for comic fans. They just made it for people in general. And people in general don't really know anything about Wolverine. They're learning for the first time that this is what Wolverine's about. But at the same time, they're kind of hoping that the comic crowd does go in to see it. And so they're going to be pissing in your faces the entire time and telling you it's raining.
I disagree. I think knowing today's comic book fans and what they love, they're going to love this movie. It already made $84 million. Everyone's going to go see it. And again, by the transitive property, that means it's good. I think Bendis wrote this one.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, folks, that's the end of this review, and we'll see you back next time.